Welcome to the Scandinavian Mind podcast. I'm Conrad Olsson, founder and editor-in-chief of Scandinavian Mind. Today we are revisiting a panel talk that we hosted together with Polestar in Helsinki a few weeks ago. We were invited to co-host Polestar Talks Design, bringing together some of the leading voices in the Finnish design community. What is the role of the designer? What challenges and opportunities are the design community facing today? And what responsibility does the designer have in solving our most pressing issues? These were some of the questions that we tried to answer in a series of conversations. And today we're going to listen to the second panel, which included Tomek Rygalik, founder of Studio Rygalik and Design Nature, who's also a professor at the Aalto University Architecture Department, and Petteri Masalin, Chief Design Officer at Fiskars Group. Together, Tomek and Petteri discussed the importance of values in design, what responsibilities they have as designers with regards to sustainability, and their advice to young designers entering the business. I had a great time hosting these talks, and now I bring you Tomek Rygalik and Petteri Masalin. Enjoy. Tomek, I will start with you. You're wearing a few hats here. We're going to try to figure out them all. I'll wait with the professor hat for now. But when you describe how you work with your studio and this new project, Design Nature, you mentioned 3 pillars, which I thought was very interesting to your process. Can you describe those for us?
Maybe before I answer straight on, I will just give a background how we arrived with that.
Sure.
Basically, we realized as humanity where we got the planet to push the planet to the corner. Really, off and on, I had these moral dilemmas about the industrial design work that I was doing over the years, starting in the States in the consultancy world, doing consumer goods, and then this moral dilemma has been kind of growing within me that maybe I should redirect my interest and passion, even though I was so keen into making. And I was thinking, what are the actual avenues or ways to actually impact society directly in a most effective way as a designer? And these 3 paths have, over years have evolved into methodologies that we used as a studio first with my partner Gosia, who I run the studio with, and then later on, as we decided to establish this new concept, which is called Design Nature, these became kind of the pillars. And they are education, because we believe that through impacting the new generation of designers is the best way to actually change the world, because these are the people who will be actually creating the world of the future. We grew up learning about design from people who have started it yet another 30, 40 years earlier. And that was a different environment, a different consciousness, different awareness of the impact of design on the society, on the humanity and the planet. So this is very key to really talk to the new generations, hear them out, but also learn together. So education is one of these pillars, and we do a lot of workshops. We do a lot of workshops with our also clients to educate each other, and also students often involved in that to create kind of a think tank of new ways of thinking, as we have to really reconnect the dots, really. I mean, this is the time where we need to really think of a radical change in the way we operate from the linear, take, make, waste approach to the circular and so on. So this is one. Another one is innovation. So this is obviously what designers do through their creative projects. We can go a little bit deeper into more kind of R&D, material-based, developments, not just working on styling or the visual aspects, but we can go deeper, thinking about how things are sourced, built, find new opportunities, exciting ones, really thrilling, and also ones that put the flag in new places, like create new opportunities, new possibilities. So this innovation through design is, of course, what most designers strive to do these days. And I think this is a really true way to impact it in a real sense. The third one is maybe not that obvious. We call it good life. Basically, somehow we can talk the talk. It almost sounds already like greenwashing what I said a moment ago. We have to be somehow true to ourselves and really authentic in what we do. And the only way to do it is really to live the lifestyle that we want to create and promote. And this is why we do try to live or practice what we preach, in another world, and kind of impact aspects of togetherness, food, yoga, well-being, integrate this into the process. And somehow it becomes different. It's like the environments of design today, just to finish off, have emerged from this industrial revolution paradigm. They are environments that have been created to create products based on the old values. To promote and create new world with new values, we need also new environments, new situations, and this good life helps us to build it in a new way, kind of open platform where projects emerge in a different kind of way than, the client comes to the consultancy studio and and there is a briefing session and all that. It can happen through a different kind of relationship between the people. And this is what we are testing now. These three paths kind of start to mix and mingle together.
So, education, innovation, and good life. I wanted to come work for you when I heard this. We're going to get back
sounds very idealistic, but yeah.
We're going to get back to that approach, but I want to let in Petteri on this. And before we talk about sustainability, I wanted to talk a little bit about the role of the design at Fiskars. And I thought your new title, which arrived yesterday, from my understanding, is kind of symptomatic of this, or tells a lot. So can you talk about the role of the designer at Fiskars?
I don't know. Many know me, and that I'm kind of small monkey in a company nowadays that jumping left and right. But saying that the Fiskars design is not talk about design inside the team, because almost everybody is kind of hybrid people. There's lots of in my team who is about 2 engineer and industrial designers. But the whole design philosophy is that you need to see and learn. That you need to find almost every day or every week something new problems. And it's interesting to see that everybody who is living that life, and by the way, that whole team is working already many years, is kind of almost every Monday is kind of new opportunity to doing something new. And this is linking to material or something what happened to weekends, how the designers see in what happened at home, on stores, or different things. But also that kind of whole heritage, what is Fiskars, is the second oldest company in whole Europe, 375 years. You need also to learn almost every day what Fiskars done already in this almost 400 years. And you learn different things, and you laughing at, hey, come on, this same stuff what Fiskars doing 100 years ago coming back today. Same trendies, same material, same philosophy, and how the people living.
So almost 400 years of history, talk about a sustainable brand. But when it comes to sustainability specifically in your products and your way of working, can you mention some of the projects you've done and what's the approach right now at Fiskars?
No, this every time that whole team starting doing this kind of iconic design. What iconic design mean? This mean more that kind of this need to stay in 60 or 80 years in a market, maybe. Or it's not going to stay in market, but it's stay in your home. It's going to your mom, it's going to your dad, it's going to your son, and different things. And that is kind of talk about more lasting design. It's no waste. People fixing this, people gluing this, people doing different things and want that to stay in your home. But of course, the Fiskars started already 5 years ago to study different new materials, and that is long path because Fiskars is known to plastic and metal, how to mix in together and to go to the next level. It's taking lots of new studying the material and to understand different materials, how to work. To say that in a garden product in outside is very difficult to do in only wood handle because it's staying in life about 5 years. And that's why this is one good sample is
Oh, you brought samples.
It's scissors, but this waste, 100% waste. It's cellulose waste and your sausage plastic in your home and steel in waste in builders factory and doing the running. And the color, what I'm saying, is coming real colors. There's no pigment here. That is exactly that raw material color. And it's the best one because that color comes into nature. And the saying that kind of ecological feeling, how the thing goes, the whole design come in bird, material come into forest, and metal is waste, different things, is matching, in my mind, very well to heaven. And I already tell you the little bit story. And early here, it's a huge problem with the factory in that time because here's a lots of pigments. That pigment is cellulose in here. And that factory director called me, and I don't know what to do in because here's mistakes. I said, perfect, I want more mistakes. Because that is also the people see these mistakes and understand better that this, hey, it's coming somewhere else. It's not kind of nature material, but it's feeling for you to better. And it's honest, and it's coming honest story. By the way, I know exactly where the forest cellulose coming, that come in Kuopio. I'm allowed to say that guy name who cut the tree down and go to the system. But that is the industry story, that you learn and learn every day something new.
But how has your role changed? Because we're talking about now is the interaction between sourcing materials, production, and the designer. So what responsibility does the designer have in all of this?
I do in everything. I do in sketches every day, I'm doing prototypes every day. I need to selling new ideas inside in the company. Drinking, of course, coffee and talk about a little bit bad joking work. I see customers and try to sell in that in outside, that philosophy what this Fiskars is and where is it coming. Because in every product, what Fiskars design is some kind of story. It's not kind of fake. It's coming some real problems. And that is basically my role. Maybe, let's see, because I don't really know, because it's one day, that new role, where does that go? But I know that Fiskars want to lift that design a higher position in the company, that is really important thing, and it's not only kind of nice sketches and lots of red wine.
So, Tomek, I want to go back to you and zone in on the second part of what you just talked about, innovation, and you also do quite a lot of work with the R&D focused specifically on sustainability. Can you talk about some projects or maybe broadly about your perspective on that?
Absolutely. Well, the Design Nature has become initially a kind of a research center, and because it's beautifully situated in this rural environment with a lot of nature.
In Poland, right?
Yes, yeah. It's in central Poland. It has become also a place for these workshops, retreats, summer schools, and a lot of other activities. So, but the heart of it is the R&D facility, which is well equipped to do a lot of studies, prototyping, but also a lot of testing. And it's state of the art. We call it kind of NASA for a joke, because we have not expected to actually go that far when it comes to technology, because as a designer I never needed this kind of tools at my hands, but we took it seriously just to take seriously what we preach, and there's a variety of work that we do there. I mean, maybe I will bounce off what you just said about the plastic, which we have a project which actually is about taking what is called ghost nets. So these are the fishermen nets from Baltic Sea, that are left there by the fishermen because it's not economical to pull them out anymore.
Yeah, that happens.
And we actually work with this foundation in North Poland on the Baltic Sea coast that works with the fishermen to actually extract them from the bottom of the sea. Of course, saving the fauna and flora but also at the same time is a great resource which we turn into this board material in our facility. And then out of it we create some street furniture. And this is actually quite direct kind of a cleaning up the world approach, working with waste. But we go more on the in-depth kind of processes and production level innovation. For example, working with the sawdust of woodworking facilities and also creating new materials and new product possibilities, because our research is, as we are from the design background, it's usually, and that's the strength of design as well, I have to say, that it's very much about realizing in the real world the real solutions. So it's very easy to use design as a way to show the way because a lot of the innovation that happens on the production level actually is quite minute and invisible, and it's actually not so sexy, to be honest, and it's something that kind of goes behind the radar, and I think design has this power also by doing exceptional work like this, to actually bring these issues to the awareness of the wider audience, and actually having this conversation about imperfection or colors of nature, and actually reconnecting people to the imperfect world that we live in. So this a lot of the work is product-based innovation. It's about some projects are like 4-year schemes or 3-year schemes that are going through this R&D methodology of arriving with the new innovation in material or process, but then always, every time, it's about applying it into some real-world solution.
And speaking of conversations, you have to have conversations with your clients as well. Can you speak at all to how susceptible your clients who wants a piece of furniture or whatever it is to these new types of practices or this approach to sustainability?
It's a good question because it varies. I mean, there is some clients that came to us to have new designs designed for their offer or their collection, and then somehow these projects build up into a deeper relationship and longer span projects that going into research and development. In some cases, because we are new to the R&D world, but there are some clients already that have come to us because of the unique combination of this product design mindset and the R&D facility that can go deeper with the research in materials and longevity, which you mentioned, which is key. One thing is to close the biological or technological cycle, but another is to make that cycle as big as possible, and extend the longevity of the product. So we do a lot of, for example, product life testing, a lot of accelerating aging processes, and so on. A lot of laboratory work, and that's new field for us. So there is new clients who want that, and then we show them that we can also maybe take it farther towards a more tangible product level as well.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time here. Once again, because I could, I barely touched the tip of my list of questions here. I want to end with the same questions that I did in the last session. Talk about the new generation of designers that are coming out. Petteri, I'm sure you interview new designers, looking for new talent all the time. What are you looking for, and is there a specific approach or values that you are searching for in new talent, new designers?
Of course, that I try to found, and I know here is new talents who starting this year, and of course I try to found, but I try to found also a person who's fitting that team. I'm many times saying, I may be saying wrong now, at the saying that you're a little bit not so talent, but you come into talent, and is lots of people who is talent, and people grow. I understand that the youngsters or olders coming in that Fiskars team is taking a couple of years, and you understand that home point. Yes, I tried also to found more outside in Finland. He's already working in many other countries, designers, but it's difficult, of course, to found these persons in different places. But it's interesting how the youngsters see life in a little bit different way, how I see nowadays. And that is the fantastic for me, because I'm already an older guy. I learn so much, a new lifestyle and new thoughts. And many times I'm very wrong. Normally I'm not saying ever that I'm wrong, but now I say many times I'm wrong and learn and taking that with me and try to do something new.
Right. And Tomek, briefly now.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
what do you say to your students, the students that's coming in, and when they leave to work, in design agencies or big companies like Fiskars? What's your recommendation? What's your send-off as a professor?
Big question. I will try to make it short. Well, one thing is just to do less but better things for longer, which we already touched upon. So this is quite straightforward. So kind of that's one message. Sometimes it's also about thinking not just how, which a lot of design students are so much about. They want to learn how, but ask other questions, deeper questions like what and why. Because then you become a partner in a conversation of actual values. It's not enough to know how to do it. We need to know what makes sense to do and also why. So this is maybe in a nutshell what I would leave the students with.
Tomek Rygalik, Petteri Masalin, thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You've been listening to the Scandinavian Mind podcast with me, Conrad Olsson. This show was edited by Erik Sedin. If you liked what you heard, follow us on your preferred podcast app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. To get the latest news, insights, and invites to upcoming events, sign up to our newsletter. Just go to scandinavianmind.com to become part of our movement.